Nimona is a new sci-fi animated movie that just released on Netflix over this past weekend. This film was directed by two people whose names I'm not remembering at the moment, but I will definitely look their names up after the video is over, and I'll feel stupid because I once again forgot somebody's name. However, if you're looking for some recognizable names among the voice cast, you've got Chloe Grace Moretz and Riz Ahmed and RuPaul, among other people. The story here is based on a graphic novel that came out in 2015. No, I haven't actually read the graphic novel. It's another one of those movies that has a really awesome book that created it, and I haven't read the book. Having seen the movie, I definitely want to check out that graphic novel now. The story takes place in this futuristic world where knights are protective of this kingdom. There are monsters and magic and yada yada yada. There's also a lot of great future technology. So in this story, a knight named Ballister is framed for a crime, a murder that he did not commit. He's forced to go on the run, hunted by all the other knights of the kingdom, and he has to team up with this crazy, insane shapeshifter named Nimona. Nimona has to try to help him get out of this situation and clear his name. But is Nimona a hero, or is Nimona the actual villain of the story that he has been training to defeat for his entire life? It's always a fun thing when I'm watching an animated movie and I have no idea who is doing the voice work for the movie. I just click on the movie and see what happens. I hear a couple voices and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I recognize that person. Wow, they're doing this movie? That happened to me with like Riz Ahmed and Chloe Grace Moretz. Like, I heard their voices and I was just like, oh shit, wow, they're in this movie. Wow, that makes the movie more awesome. Didn't know that. So this movie came from a company called Blue Sky. You guys should know what Blue Sky is. It's the same company that brought you Ice Age back in the day. Blue Sky was under Fox, and then Disney bought Fox, and then this movie kind of got shelved because of the LGBTQ themes and story stuff that was in this movie. So right off the bat, I do have to say that this movie is unapologetically and flamboyantly gay, and I think it's really fucking awesome, actually. If you're looking for that kind of representation or that kind of story in animation, live action, whatever, I just feel like this is the perfect type of story because this movie knows what it is, it doesn't apologize for it, it also doesn't make a big deal out of it. That's just my small way of saying that I think more of these stories should be told and more people should be seeing these stories. This movie should be in fucking theaters right now. Putting aside the fact that the story is gay as hell, it should be in theaters because it's just a damn good movie. I love the world that is teased and kind of created in this movie. I love the fact that it's a futuristic world, but it still has like old school fantasy shit in it. You've got fantasy lore, you've got knights, you've got kingdoms, you've got armor, you've got swords, you've got magic, but you also have like Twitter for like fantasy people. Like, it's just a really fascinating clash of things in this movie. Then when you get to the animation, I mean, the animation here is top-notch stuff, man. It's gorgeous, it's eggs on a tits, beautiful stuff. It's not quite across the Spider-Verse level beauty, but it's still pretty damn good. I love how fluid it is. I love the details and the amount of effort that's put into the textures. I love the colors and I love the designs of all the different characters. Ballister and Nimona, obviously they're the two that are together in the movie the most. And the dynamic between them, the chemistry between them, it's really awesome to see. It's great to see how much they make each other better throughout the runtime of the movie. They have so many fun interactions, so much fun dialogue and jokes that is tossed back and forth between them. Ballister, who's kind of like, you know, he's haunted and tortured and he's kind of brooding. And then you have Nimona, and holy shit. Nimona might actually be one of my favorite new characters ever. Like, Nimona is awesome. I want to see at least 10 Nimona-led sequels based on this world. Like, I just want it, I need it, and I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know who I need to kill or who I need to fuck, but something needs to happen to let that happen for me. She's like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch if you combined them with like Bugs Bunny or something. She's hilarious, she's chaos, she's anarchy. You root for her, you like her, even though she's really rough around the edges and she's kind of a bad guy in a lot of different ways. It's like 40% angel and 60% devil, and I love that ratio for she's like 70% devil. Let's make that 70%. As far as like the themes and the concepts that the story is trying to push across, it does focus heavily on inclusion. It does focus heavily on acceptance, bigotry, prejudice, that type of thing. Focuses a lot on people and the human nature of fear and what fear can do to people and how harmful and damaging fear can be to other people that are just different than you. The movie does have its share of problems, no question. One of the things is there's a why that sets up the plot for this movie. And for me, the why, like when they actually explained it, I was very underwhelmed. I was just like, oh, really? That's That's it. That's the why. That's why this entire movie is happening. It's one of those things where it just feels very lazy and unimaginative. It's one of those things where I'm just like, you could have come up with a dumber reason, and I probably would have bought it a little bit better. It feels like one of those things that doesn't make sense, and it also feels like it doesn't make sense because you didn't put effort into it. I feel like while the world building is interesting and it's there and it gets you engrossed in the world, I feel like it feels a little bit too small for this story. There are some aspects that are left out that are not really touched upon or fleshed out, and I had questions and I wanted to know about certain elements, and the movie's just not really interested in them, and I do feel like it compromises some of the messages that they're trying to send in the movie, and I can't explain because that would be a spoiler. There's some lazy contrivances and plot stuff that manipulate characters to get them to act a certain way, even though it doesn't make that much sense that they would act a certain way based on their character and what they've done before. These are all relatively minor nitpicks. Ultimately, Nimona is a really fun, fascinating, beautiful looking movie with great animation. It's funny. Nimona's a great character. I just feel like it should be seen on a bigger screen, and since it's not, you're gonna have to settle for Netflix. Nimona was actually really damn good. I had a fun time with this movie. I'm gonna leave this one in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. Those are my thoughts on Nimona. Tell me, if you lived in a fantasy world, what kind of character would you be? Would you be a warrior? Would you be a hobbit? Would you be a dragon? Would you be something else? Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.